On YouTube today, so I wanted to address them so that we could talk about questions that people have. Some things are really important to people and they really don't understand how velocity banking works. So sometimes they leave some pretty crazy questions, and I'm going to answer them. Hello, Colette. Wendy, hello. New Hampshire, wow. All right. So I just wanted to jump on just a minute. Hi, guys. Everybody's so kind. To talk about some questions that I saw on YouTube today. We will start going over those right now. Say hi to everyone. Happy Saturday. Dallas, we've got Buddy from Virginia. Oh, hey, Buddy. That is so cute. You said, hey, buddy from Virginia. Like, hey, you're Buddy, and I'm your buddy. I get it. Okay, sorry. Sorry. I'm getting a little off there. North Georgia, Toronto, hello. Arizona, California, South Carolina, Washington. Wow. I am so glad you're here too, Cheryl. We've got Florida in the house. We got Louisiana, Mississippi. So, hello to you guys. Thank you so much for joining me. Like I said, I have been watching YouTube off and on today, and I saw some questions that I thought were pretty simple. And I'm like, well, I'll go on and just kind of answer those. No big deal, right? So, we got Seattle in the house, Brooklyn, New York. Hey, wife. Okay, all right. Waynesboro, Pennsylvania, Kansas. Oh, thank you. Is that GOKU? Goku? Okay, thank you. 210,000 subs. Yes. Yes, that just tells me that 210,000 people are interested in their finances, and they're watching and hopefully learning and changing how they're handling the finances so they can get out of debt, which is what I like. Colorado, Nebraska, Maryland. Wow, we've got all kinds of people in the house. Uh, ah, there's Boca. Yes, yes. I was in Boca not long ago. Hello, hello. We got Virginia again and DC, Albert. Wow, we've got Canadians in here. That's crazy. I am so glad that you guys are watching and learning, and I hope that it's helping you even when you live, in another nation, that you're getting the help that you need. We got Texas here, North Carolina, Tampa. Oh my goodness, you guys are just from everywhere. Toronto. That's so awesome. Okay, so I want to talk a minute. Boston. We've got some Bostonians. Awesome. Um, if you have a question that you want answered, please put it in the chat. I'm going to try to get to them today. Arkansas, nice. Georgia, this is so cool. I think we have about every state in the house tonight. That's awesome. I thought you all would thought you would be out partying right now, and so I thought I'll go on and do a live, and then I'll upload it, edit it out, and put it back up. But you guys are here. You guys are here, so we can go ahead and start this party right here. The very first thing that I want to say is when I get people that talk to me about getting personal loans, I want to cringe, because why? Loans and lines are two different things. And when you're talking about getting a loan, I really, hold my breath for a minute to see if you realize what you're talking about. So I realize that some people think that they're going to the bank and they're going to sign their name away to something, and so they call that a loan. So that's why I hold my breath a minute, just to make sure that you know what you're talking about, because lines and loans are two different things. Just want to make sure that you're not going in and asking for the wrong thing, because what do we say to any loan? No. No. No, we don't do loans, right? No loans. It's my last word. No. Right. Okay. So we don't do loans because they have an amortization schedule setting you up on payments, and we don't want to just make payments. Okay. Um, let's see. Laurie says, what do you do when you are debt free except for your mortgage? You can transfer that into a line of credit, a HELOC, or a first lien HELOC will actually take over the mortgage. So, there's like some kind of crazy bug is in the house. Oh my gosh, did you all see when I was on the webinar with Chris and Noggle last week? A bug landed like right on my shirt somewhere, and I could see it in the camera. And when I kind of glanced, I saw somebody had written spider in the chat, and I'm like, spider? And I looked down, and on my shirt, I'm not kidding, it was that big around. And I went, ah! And I knocked it off, and oh my Lord, I was just frantic, and everybody was laughing, and we all were laughing, and it was so crazy. Anyway, so I'm sorry. I am human. I don't like spiders. Okay, it's snowing in New Hampshire. No way. Ah, oh my gosh. Buddy's working on his sermons for tomorrow. God is good. Thank you, buddy. You are such a blessing. Thank you so much. Oh, hit the like button. Yeah, hit the like button. So yeah, anyway, don't go into a bank and ask for a personal loan. Keep your terms clear for them so that they don't throw you into a loan. You want to go in and ask for a line. A line of credit is a revolving tool. It revolves, okay? A loan does not. It's closed end, meaning your money goes in and you cannot pull it back out. We only want revolving accounts, okay? Let's see. So under no circumstances am I at any point to do anything with a loan. You are allowed to pay them off. So yes, you can pay off your loans. But as far as getting one, I mean, you're just stepping back into a big old pile of mud if you do. So try to stay away from the loans. Hello, Shannon. Yes, good evening. Good evening. Vermont is in the house. Okay, what score is usually required for the line of credit? Great question, Mike. Or I'm sorry, Mike Daily Review. Great question. So it depends. If you're going for a personal line of credit that's like 5,000, 10,000, 15,000, they may start looking at you around 640, 650, 660. It really depends upon the bank. If you're going in for a HELOC, a second position HELOC, you might be talking about a 660, 680, 690, depending on the bank again. If you're talking about a first lien HELOC, you're usually talking about a 700 and above. Okay, I hope that helps. Okay. Let's see. Laurie says, I have 2 credit cards at 0%. Should I take cash advances and pay them off to have extra cash on hand? We don't usually keep extra cash on hand. If you were going to pay off a loan that you have by getting a convenience check or doing a transfer from a credit card, probably, but just to have cash on hand, I don't, if you're meaning what I think you're meaning, like letting it sit in a checking account, no, we don't do that. I don't do that. Remember, I make suggestions, you make decisions, right? Okay. Any comments on leased cars? Any scenarios to pay less interest on them? When we talk about leases, if they are just getting started, if they have a large monthly payment, sometimes we'll talk about paying the lease off to, the date of turn in. So that really depends. We don't really mess with leased cars unless we're really going to gain a lot by some people. I believe I've had some that said they couldn't pay off their lease. I don't know if that's right or not, but I'm not real sure about leases. I just know that when we see them and we're going to gain a lot of cash flow, that does become part of the strategy to pay off. Give that dollar a job, but no lazy money. That's exactly right. Let's see. Am I better off keeping my money in a consolidation loan at 9.49 or transferring to a line of credit at 9.69 using velocity banking? Would somebody help this person with that answer? I mean, dude, are you watching videos? If you're watching videos, you know that you're going to win by transferring that loan into a line. I don't care if you're going from 9% to 15% on a line of credit, you're going to beat that to 9.49%. Watch videos, okay? That's there. They're free. Doesn't cost you a thing, a little bit of time to get your finances in order. But please, please, please understand that amortized schedule that you're put on with a loan with an interest rate as ridiculous as that right there. I would beg the banks to open right now so I could transfer that loan into that line. Totally different animals. That line at 9% you're talking about is a simple interest product. So if you're using any line of credit correctly, you're going to win over a loan 99% of the time. Please watch videos. I could tell by your question that you are not very learned yet in the concept. And you really, really need to understand what you're doing, because that question told me that you need to study just a little bit more to make sure you understand what exactly the difference between a loan and a line is, okay? Yes, I do one-on-one sessions. Yes, I do. I have a website, fantasticfinances.com. You can go under services and find me there. Let's see. Colette, what are you laughing about? My bank could do on a line of credit is 17%. Philip, that's very high. 17%, that's high. Now, will it beat a loan? Yeah, probably will, especially if you're using it correctly, you're using your income correctly. I wouldn't say it's out, but I'm saying I might be a little bit careful on how you use it. But yeah, that's a little higher than I've been seeing them lately. Yes, HELOC is the way to go. Hello, San Antonio, Texas. I'm going to have to get to Texas. I keep saying I'm going to, and one day I'm going to. I'm going to make myself get on a plane and fly that far. I'm going to do it. My husband said that when they drove from Midland to this town, that it was a straight 24-hour drive, that his mom and dad just kind of switched out, but they drove straight through 24 hours in a car. Oh my gosh. Crazy. Hi, Sylvia. You are here. You are here. Didn't I just answer? You were so sweet. Weren't you just the one that left the comment that I answered a few minutes ago? Don't get wrapped around the interest rate. Cash flow in and out is key. Thank you, buddy, for being so smart. Excellent, excellent. Leveraging the line of credit. I'm telling you, what a way to live when you learn to use that line of credit. Oh, love it. Peace and love. Home is paid off. $600 away from zero balance credit cards, credit score going up. Next, applying for an LOC to put a roof on my house. I'm thinking I'm right. I'm thinking you're right too, Peace. Good job. Good job. Hey, somebody knows Precious. Okay, I have that shirt. Hey, I have this shirt. Somebody actually sent me this shirt. Precious. I need to wear it, but it's so precious. I don't want to wear it because then I might have to wash it and mess it up. But I thought that was so sweet. I think it was Melody K that sent me this. She's in my Facebook private group, and we talk quite a bit. I think she's the one that sent me that. She has sent me several things. Thank you guys when you send gifts. That's very precious, very precious, very precious, very precious of you. I appreciate that. Appreciate that. She also sends me coupons and stuff for like Panera Bread, and so And okay. So I don't know if she's on here or not, but I had a lady, she was on my TikTok a lot, and she was sending me all kinds of stuff. She sent me markers, she sent me stuff to clean my boards with. What else did she send? Oh, the glasses that I wore on the airplane to stop the sickness in the air. She's really sweet. So you guys are sweet. Oh my gosh, I got gifts from Hawaii one time. What I get, like a tumbler, and then all kinds of these teas that I do drink. They were hot teas. They're so good. So thank you guys. Brian says, been following you for over a year and a half. I haven't been on a year and a half. I just started. I just crossed the 1 year. I crossed the 1 year line at 200,000 subscribers. That was pretty impressive. I was like, wow. A lot of people caught on really fast, and I am so grateful for that. And I thank the Lord for that every day, because I know you are learning and you have to be winning. So Brian says, I've paid off over 30,000. Nice. 9,000 balance out of 50,000 HELOC. Should I pay a 27,000 loan off with the remaining HELOC balance, or just $5,000 chunks? It depends on the cash flow you're gaining. Okay. So if your cash flow is at, after you paid that off, if your cash flow is going to be like at 2,000 a month, then that means that you would pay off that loan in less than 16 months approximately. So I probably would pay it off, because your interest is not going to be really high. Like if you had 27,000 and you've got a 9.25%, which is the going rate on a HELOC right now, that your first month would cost you about $208 in interest, and then it would be coming down every month. So it really depends on your cash flow. And so if you say, that's not even fair. Let's see if we did, let's divide that by 2. Let's see what we get. So you're talking about having about $1,660 in total interest. So it really depends. I like to use chunks from my HELOC that match my income per month, and that way I'm kind of trading off the balance. I hope that makes sense. If I take, $5,000 out of the HELOC this month, and I make $5,000, and I know that's going back in, and then I'm just paying my expenses, that's kind of the way I like to go. But if you're getting a big cash flow from paying off a loan, then it's probably a pretty good idea to go ahead and pay off the loan, especially if they're eating you up in interest, like that 9.49% loan I just read in the comments earlier. Okay, question. Our 5 years fixed mortgage is ending in July. Should we renew or refinance or use HELOC? We have 25 years amortization. 5 years fixed. Ooh, so it's going to a variable, it sounds like. Okay. Okay, so I personally would look to move into a line of credit. So whatever that means for you, whether it be a first lien, would be your best bet. So I just wouldn't let that go into an amortization schedule again. I'd try to figure my way out of that. Let's see here. We're getting hearts from Cheryl. How do you use a line of credit? Okay, so every video that I put out, nearly, I would say 95% of my videos teach you how to use a line of credit. So that question tells me that you need to watch some videos, okay? The concept will become clear as you watch more videos. I just hate to sit here for my regulars that I know are really going to be mundane questions, because you've watched the videos, you're into the lines, and you know how to use them. So when I get questions of how to use a line of credit, then I just know you need to watch some more videos, so that I don't take up the time kind of talking about that on this live, okay? Hi, Betty. Hello. Some of the things you say crack me up. I'm crazy. I'm telling you, I'm crazy. There's my sister. Hi, precious sister. So she's in the house. Everybody say hi to Eve. She's like my fave sister in the whole wide world. Okay, yes, she's my only sister in the whole wide world, but she is in the house. So say hi, Eve. Let's see, how to pay off a car loan with a line of credit, Deborah. I have several videos on that as well if you want to go check that out. So you just transfer it into a line, income in, expenses out, okay? Let's see, what kind of loan should I take out to pay off the credit cards? Oh my gosh, here we go, guys. Do we get loans? No! There's that word again. There's that word. What kind of? No. What kind of? N-O, no. We don't do loans, okay? We are talking about just lines. If you go to your bank and you get a personal line of credit, a home equity line of credit, even a credit card that's linked to your checking account, any of those can be used to pay off a car loan, okay? So be very careful about what you go in asking for, because they are going to suggest you take a loan 99.999% of the time. So you have to make sure that you know what you're going in for. You need to ask for a revolving line. Revolving meaning you can put your income in, you can pull any expenses out, any funds you need whenever you need them, with no fees attached, okay? Very important. Very important. Thank you all for welcoming Eve. She never comes on here, so she must feel like she's extra precious tonight that she wanted to show up. So, no loans, that's right. Yes, growing your money, that's a good idea. One requirement for a HELOC for my credit union requires my house to be painted. That is crazy. That's the craziest thing I've heard, John. I intentionally, it's been a while since I had an appraisal, but I intentionally said I'm not doing any cosmetic work to the house. I'm not even going to like deep clean it. Because they're looking at structure. They're looking at new windows you put in. They're looking at HVAC units that are new. They're looking for new flooring. But paint on the walls, unless it's just crazy and you've got sheetrock trouble or something, maybe. But no, I mean, that's very, very different. Are you in the state of Texas? Because I know they have different HELOC rules. If line of credit's variable rate, what are the banks basing out of? 1 year or 10-year treasury? Is there a cap rate? What if those are okay? You're very, very smart, flawless eyewear, because that went right over my head. Room. Because I'm like, what? I don't even know what that means. So I know that it's the HELOCs. The HELOCs are based off of the prime rate, so they might be 0.5% over the prime rate or something. I think the prime rate is around 8% right now. I haven't even looked at that lately. So yes, it is based off of the prime, if that's what you're talking about. So I hope I answered your question. Becoming the bank revolving lines, yes, buddy, you're very smart. So Rob says, I just got a HELOC. Should I pay all of my debt? 100,000 will give me 2,400 in cash flow. So if you're paying off the whole 100,000, you're asking if you should to gain 2,400 in cash flow. That means that you're looking at, depending on your interest rate, you're looking at probably 44 months payoff, depending on your interest rate. So I don't know if you want to do it that way or not. You might want to chunk off a loan at a time so you're not paying all that interest in there. Are HELOCs allowed in Texas? Thank you for what you do. Antonio, do you live in Antonio? Do you live in San Antonio, Antonio? Because that's kind of crazy if you do. They are allowed in Texas. They have tougher restrictions. on HELOCs. Not sure why. Texas, Hawaii, and Alaska are 3 states that it's different to get first lien HELOCs and second position HELOCs in. Texas, if you get a HELOC, I know they have a $4,000 minimum withdrawal. Not a bad thing, because if you need 1,200 today and you have to take that 4,000, you can use the 1,200 and put the remainder back into the HELOC, and that seems to be allowed. So it's not too crazy, but I know that they have some really different requirements and stuff in the state of Texas. So yes. Sounds more like HOA than credit union. Okay. Let's see. Yeah, exactly. Should we put our extra cash flow on paying off the other loans, or keep it in the HELOC to keep the interest down? Will, we keep everything in the line while you have a balance on it, okay? That keeps the interest down. If you can take extra and throw it onto a loan, or pay off some of the loan, or take chunks onto a loan, that will work just as well. But keep all of your cash flow flowing through that line of credit so that it's smoothly running. You have plenty of money for your expenses. You're gaining, room in there in the event you have an emergency. Don't be throwing stuff away into a loan, okay? Yes, you are, Eve. Eve says she's always here in spirit. #1 fan. I beg to differ. You are a close second. A close first. My husband, he is my #1 fan. He's in the house. You're not in the house, Eve. So anyway, sorry, a little bit of sister rivalry there. Let's see. Sounds like the stock market to me. Okay. Appraiser said the exterior of the house needs to be painted. I'm in Florida. I don't know about that, John. I've just never heard of that before. HELOC versus LOC, or line of credit, personal line of credit, which one is preferred? It's going to be a HELOC in my book, because is it preferred? It's whatever works for you, but a HELOC offers a lower interest rate usually. A PLOC, like one guy on here just said, it was at 17%. I've seen them around 14% during this high interest rate error we've got going on here. 12% is a good rate right now. But HELOC is running 8 to 9.5%. And I have some people that are getting introductory rates of like 6.99 and stuff like that. So they're pretty good. I'm sorry, Eve. I'm sorry. You know you're my fave. You're my fave girl in the world. Hello from Toronto. Thank you, Two-Tone. Thank you. I hope it's working for you in Canada. I hope it is. Matt says, I'm looking to buy a house for a first-time buyer. What kind of mortgage loan would you recommend? Matt, there are first lien HELOCs if you're not in the state of Texas, Hawaii, or Alaska. First lien HELOCs, you can purchase a home with those lines of credit. Saves you a killing on origination fees. Huge. So check into a first lien HELOC. If you need that information, please ask. I've got a link to a lender that I like to use. Okay. How long has the HELOC been around? Wow, long time. They've been around a long time. So this is not new. It's just that we weren't taught how to use them. Okay. So don't be thinking this is like a new strategy or something. It is a new strategy as in how we're using them, but it's newer. It's not new. But just the idea of having the HELOC, people were looking at it as a loan, just making monthly payments, and you don't have to do that with a HELOC. You can actually put all your income in, pull all your expenses out, and use it like you would your checking account. I need more in-depth answers. Do you do one-on-one calls? Yes, Laurie. I have a website at fantasticfinances.com. You can go under services, and I have services there. PNC is at 2.9. No, I'm sorry. What What? I'm having stroking out here or something. It's at 9.25%. Okay. Mr. Perfect. Oh my gosh. Is that my husband? No, he's upstairs, so it's not, but I appreciate that. Thank you, Mr. Perfect. Thank you so much. Yes, no BS approach. Could we get your expert opinion on using a line of credit versus offset account? What country are you in, Mr. Perfect? The offsets that I know of are in the UK and Australia. Are you saying that you're in another nation? If you are, let me know that. Two Tone says, yes, it's working for me in Canada. Thank you so much. I'm so glad, Two Tone. You would not believe the Canadians that reach out to me wanting to know if this works. And I tell them I have Canadians doing it, but I don't know what you're doing. So I do have a Canadians helping Canadians in my Facebook private group. If you want to join that, if you haven't, go in there, check that out, and answer any questions for Canadians, because I have questions in there quite a bit. How to use HELOC that doesn't have a debit card. The same way, it should be linked to your checking account. If they won't link it, then you just have to manually pull those funds in and put your checks back into the HELOC as you get paid. Same thing. Can you explain the terminology about the different types of interest? We just had this in our 6-week group. So a line and a loan. You've got the loan, like I said earlier, is an amortized schedule. You're set up on the same monthly payment. They take the interest over the whole life of the loan and they front load it. So you're paying most of the interest up front in the first few years. That is so dangerous to our wealth. So when you use a line, it's a simple interest product. They only charge interest based on the actual balance you're using. Okay. Who has the best HELOC rates? That's a good question. I don't know that there is a best. I just know they're all usually around 9%, somewhere in there right now, 8 to 9%. Australia, hello. So you are in Australia, so I had it right with the offset. See, I know, but I've heard the offset's working really well for you guys in Australia. So I take it it's like a first lien HELOC. So golly, yeah, house prices here are crazy. Does your 10,000 LOC approach work for mortgages that are larger, 500K, for example? It can. It's certainly going to knock off a whole lot of interest if you're catching a mortgage within the first couple of years and you're chunking 10,000 at a time and you have a higher interest rate. You are certainly going to save bukus of money. But that offset I've heard is really good in the UK and Australia, because I do have Australians and some residents, or whatever you want to call them, of the UK. Are they Britons? They're British, right? Okay, so are they? Okay, I think so. So yeah, they're using them and they say they're working really well. If I can get a HELOC and my kids who have mortgages cannot, do you think I can somehow help them with velocity banking their mortgages down? You can. You're going to have to give them access so that they can use that revolving line like they would their own checking account. So you know what they say about you should never loan family or friends money. So be careful with that. Okay. But yes, you could if you turned it over to them so they can use it. Char, hi Char. When paying off debt with the HELOC, would you say it's best to focus on the highest interest rate, or what would give you the most cash flow? Great question. I always go for the most cash flow, because the more cash flow I can gain in the month, guess what? The faster my debt's going to pay down. Okay. So even if you have a higher interest rate over here that you're waiting to pick up, you're still going to win, I think, with having more cash flow to work down balances so you can pick up stuff faster. Let's see. To get my HELOC, the bank needs me to consolidate my bills in order to qualify in DTI, which will save me $2,000 and an extra $1,200 in cash flow. Will that work for me? 100K. I like that. I have no problem with consolidating under a line of credit. So sounds like that it's a good idea for you. It's going to gain you a lot of cash flow. Sounds like a good idea. I'd have to know a little more, but it sounds like you've got a good thing going on there. Can I have a personal line of credit in the UK? I do not know. I do not know. I know I have some people using credit cards in the UK, like a line of credit, but I don't know about a line of credit. Totally different banking system over there. Poet Homegirl says, I literally love your videos. I'm learning so much. I am so glad you are. Thank you for sharing that. Thank you so much. Oh my gosh, are we moving our clocks ahead tonight? We're going to lose an hour. I got to get off of here because I got to get ready. Forget it. My sister will tell you I'm a 2:00er. I work till at least 1:00 and I don't know why I cannot go to bed like a normal person, at what, 9:00? No. If I get in bed by 12, it is going to be a great next day. So I am always up late. If you get emails from me, if you write me and you see that I'm writing you back at 12:00, 1:00 in the morning, don't be surprised because that's when I do my best work. So also, I get up at the same time every morning. So even if it's a sleep-in day, I can't sleep past 8:30. So if I go to bed at 2 and I get up at 8:30, it sounds like I'm getting about 6 to 7 hours of rest a night. And I feel pretty good. So, okay. Mr. Perfect says, such a gem. Your husband's a lucky guy. We'll definitely have to send you donations as a thank you. Thank you, Mr. Perfect. You do not have to do that. Those videos are free. Just save your money and put it on your debt, okay? But yes, he is very lucky. But he is a very good person, and he's so much better than me that he is so patient with me and the work that I do, and he never gripes and complains. So I am very blessed with a great husband because I've had the bad ones and I know what they're like. So yes, I'm very blessed. Let's see. Our credit union offered us a 2.75 interest rate for the first year and 7% thereafter. Wow. Okay, wait, hold on. Everybody just hold up. Hey, shut up. Okay, so that bank needs to be applauded because I have not heard of that rate. That is pretty excellent. That's pretty excellent. You better run with that one. You better run. Okay. Hi, Christy. I love what you do. I love you, April, and I love your name. And April is such a pretty name, and we're getting ready to come into April. Okay, so does anybody else see all the rain going on in March? I'm like, dude, April showers bring me flowers. Why are we having the April showers in March? I'm like, rain, go away, Gosh, it's been crazy raining around here. I totally respect Dave Ramsey. I have nothing against him, and please don't come after me, Dave. I am not trying to harm you in any way. I think you teach great ethics about not spending money. I think you're a little bit harsh about it, and I'm sorry. I am not going to stop going to restaurants, and I'm not selling my house or my children to pay off debt. So besides that, I think that he's a good guy. I guess I've never met him. I have listened to him. He's a bit harsh, though. I will give. He scares me, and I'm scared to death that he's going to call me up and say, "Christy, you are stupid. You're stupid. What are you telling these people to do this for? You know we don't get any credit." I expect that. So I'm trying to lay low. I love you, Dave Ramsey. Please don't hurt me. So it's like I don't have any problem with him. So I couldn't do it. I tried. for a couple of years, and I was about crazy with trying to keep those envelopes and keep all that cash stashed. Although I did think it was funny. I like playing with money, so I thought that was fun. But yeah, he leaves me empty too. Okay, so I just can't do it. Um, you're welcome, Kirks. You're welcome. Rob, yes, that's what they do. Then they apply all your paychecks, the helicopter, and withdraw. Okay. I think he's answering a question. Okay, so found you in late October, started Velocity Banking 2 weeks later. I've watched all of your videos. It's an honor to see you here live tonight. Ever consider expanding to a Spanish channel? I'd love to help. Yes, I have thought of that so much. At least putting, underneath or on the videos, letting it translate what I'm saying, transcribe, whatever you call that. Yes, I think that would be a great idea because I do know that we have a lot of people that speak different languages that have reached out to me, and it is difficult. So that's a great idea. Yes, I have considered that a lot. Yes, I have. When using a credit card as an LOC and paying off your other credit cards, why is the balance transfer never included on examples, or do you pay them in cash after you pay down the LOC? No, Richard. When I am showing, now if I'm showing a transfer into a 0% credit card, I will always show transfer fees on my videos. If I'm showing a credit card as being linked to a checking account, I never show fees because there should not be any fees associated with a linked credit card to your checking account. Okay. The only time that I'll show a transfer fee is when I'm actually pulling loans or whatever into a 0% credit card. There is a transfer fee there. I don't deal with cash advances. And if you guys are dealing with any credit card that is charging you a cash advance fee, I wouldn't do that if I were you. I make suggestions, you make decisions, but I would not use a card that is charging me a cash advance fee. Okay. That's why I never show fees when I'm using a credit card linked to a checking account because they should not be charging you. Hello, Grantor. First time here. Okay, a lot of credit unions. Uh-oh, I lost it. Okay. A lot of credit unions do teaser rates for the first year, but based on the Fed rate, it could actually be higher. Exactly. If you get a teaser rate like we were just looking at the 2.99% for the first year, that's great. Even if it jumped to 7% at where we're at right now, that would still be excellent. But if she gets down a year and the rates are down to 2%, she can absolutely just go into another line of credit. You don't have to sit and use a line that's too high on an interest rate, and you can get as many lines as your credit will allow. So I wouldn't even think about that. Been on VB for 3 months, 3 accounts paid off, including my car paid off a year early. Have a personal line of credit for $12,000, been paying chunks of $5,000 a month. That is awesome, Heart. I'm very, very happy for you. I love it. I just love it. Yeah. March in like a lion, out like a lamb. I thought that too, but like the first week of March was last week. This was last week. So we're in the 9th. So I didn't think it was supposed to be, the whole first 2 weeks, but whatever. Laurie says, love your hair and clothes. Make some videos about those. Okay. I shop at Cato's. There you go. And I just do my hair. I literally go to Great Clips and they cut it. So that's why I look so rough, is I don't go pay the big guys to do my hair anymore because I don't have time to sit there for 4 hours while they're working on my head, right? So now I just do it myself. Shannon says, I came late to the party. We don't make minimum payments, right? Our credit card balances would be at 0 after a HELOC transfer. We don't make minimum payments? You do. If you have a balance, you have to make the minimum payment unless you're transferring the whole amount or chunks into the HELOC. Does the amount taken out for expenses also include your monthly mortgage payment in the examples? Yes, I keep reading that on the YouTube videos. Wow, guys, when I am doing a scenario on the board and you see where I have expenses, and like if the person has a $5,000 income but they have $4,500 in expenses, yes, their house or rent is included in the expenses every single time. There would be no sense in me doing a video showing how fast we're working down debt if I'm sitting here lying. I'm including all of the expenses. The scenarios I use are actual clients that I work with. So yes, when you make a chunk of $10,000 onto a mortgage principal, yes, you have to continue making those monthly payments on that mortgage. You have to do that. They will take your house away. Okay. So I keep getting that question and in the comments under the YouTube videos. And I'm like, what do people think $4,500 a month is going out to? No, I don't list every single thing they've got because that would take up my whole board. That would take up a whole lot of time. So when I say that their monthly expenses for everything they're paying for, from daycare to rent, mortgage payments, any insurances, subscriptions, food, gas, all of that is included in the total monthly expenses. I put them in one big group so that I have plenty of room on the board. So yes, I hope that answers your question. All of the expenses are in that monthly chunk amount I'm showing there. Then, when we're making that chunk onto the principal, totally different. That's just extra. We're throwing from the line into the principal. But you do continue to make the mortgage payments, the car payments, whatever you have to make. You continue to make that until that loan is paid off. We good? We good? Okay. Let's see. PLOC is at 20%. Is it still worth using? Maybe. I'm not really, the interest rate, it can be used. Of course, it would be better if you had a 10%, right? But the 20%, if used correctly, and I would be able to use it correctly, so it would benefit me. So it just depends on how you're using that line. But yes, it could still be worth it. Yes. If I have 27 years on a mortgage at 270,000 left, if I can put 10 or 20,000, that would take how many years away? Dude, it's not that easy. It's not that easy. I gotta have interest rates. I gotta have one-on-ones where we sit and talk about that. So you have to have all of the information to put into the Carl's mortgage calculator. Then you can get an idea on how much time you're going to save on a mortgage. But that's not enough information. I'm sorry. I figured a plan how to eliminate the APR, so I'm on my way. Good for you. Good for you. Feather Payne is in the house. Feather has been in my 6-week group, and she's a pleasure. Hello, Feather. Hello. Let's see. Anthony King says, doesn't debt make me poor? What exactly is velocity banking doing to increase cash flow if I don't start off with debt? Okay, Anthony, we're talking about people that don't have debt. So you may be in the wrong group. How hard is it to acquire a BLOC? And not any harder than a PLOC if you have a business, as long as you've got a healthy credit score, okay? Once out of debt, where do you recommend parking your wealth? Precious metals? Some people do that. I like to put mine in infinite banking. So at least it's growing. It's guaranteed not to lose it, guaranteed growth. And when I pass away, which will happen eventually, my beneficiary will get it tax free. So that's why I like to keep the money growing in an account like that. Then I can pull off of it and use it as I need to. If I want to buy a car, I pull it off of myself and I don't have to go to the bank. So that is a great way to get your finances set up when you're ready to move that way. Again, should I apply for a HELOC or a regular line of credit? It depends on what you're wanting to accomplish. The HELOC always has lower interest rates. Christy, do you think velocity banking with one to eliminate the APR is okay for me for now till I get better offers? Do you think velocity banking with one to eliminate the APR is okay for me for now till I don't think I understand the question. I don't think I understand that question. I'm very sorry. With my current credit score, I won't qualify for a PLOC, but I qualify for a small loan to knock out the debt I have. I'm doing so. May bump my score up to get a PLOC eventually.
No means no.
You can if you want to. I'm not your mother, but I mean, think about things before you get loans. They look all pretty. It looks like it'll work out good, but I don't have an answer for that. Maybe you should try the automated system first. Maybe you should go for that. The automated velocity system allows you to pay off your debt just as fast without having to get a line of credit. So maybe you would want to go that way rather than get a loan. I don't know. I know the velocity, the automated system certainly moves faster than I can on a whiteboard most of the time. So that's a good way to go too. Let's see. I've got a plan to pay off most of my cards in a year and a half, bouncing high balances to the Velocity credit card. You go. Yes. Let's see here. I was denied a HELOC. How can I use a credit card with a $15,000 limit to pay my mortgage? Lisa, only if you have convenience checks. If they'll offer you convenience checks, it might be a good way. That might be a high interest rate, though, to put such a large chunk on. So think about that before you do that. Again, that might be where the automated velocity system would help you as well. Let's see here. Thank you for your response. You're welcome. You're welcome. Question: get a renewal and use PLOC and make extra payments, or get a first lien HELOC, pay off mortgage, and just have the first lien HELOC left? Yes. I like that idea right there. The first lien HELOC will completely absorb your mortgage, paying it off, and leaves you room in your equity to use as needed. The automated velocity system and a first lien HELOC cost about the same. So either one will work. The automated system does not have an approval period, so you can move right into it in your first day and start working, and it structures your payments. The first lien HELOC has a 45-day usually approval period. Cost depending upon your credit score, which has to be above 700, and like your appraisal fees, the origination fees. So you've got fees associated with the first lien HELOC as well. So you kind of have to fill that out on which way you want to go. Let's see. You're funny, Christy. Thanks. I try to be a comedian. Does the rates on a HELOC matter? Yes. Now, HELOCs are larger lines. So if you're finding that you have a large amount on a HELOC, that interest rate can get pretty high. The interest charges can get pretty high. So be careful with that. Like I said, the going rate right now is around 9%, and they too can cause havoc if you've got a large amount on that HELOC. So kind of fill that out and, be careful with that. Can you use a HELOC to fix a rental to sell it off? Absolutely. I imagine you could. Yes. Best way to start talking with you, one-on-one, email, your website. The website has my one-on-one services, fantasticfinances.com. HELOC to buy equipment for a business. If you're going to be able to work that off pretty quickly, sure. You want to use your HELOC for acquisition of properties or investments that's building wealth. And it sounds like if you need equipment for a business, that's a good idea as well. What's the best strategy to use with a $10,000 line of credit to pay down the IRS installments or student loans? Both are about $60K each. The IRS is eating you up. Okay? The IRS is eating you up. So please, please, please be careful. Okay? You might want to work on them, the penalties, the late charges, the interest, the list goes on and on and on and on for the IRS. So that would be my first attack right there. Right there. Okay? Thank you, John. What is a PYG 25,000? Somebody's going to have to help me with that because I don't know, John. Help me out. Never heard of that before. But I hope you have a great day too. And whatever the PYG is, I'm very thankful for that. Should I heart it? Can I heart it? I put a heart on it too. Thank you so much. You know what? When I'm talking to somebody that does not believe in a line of credit, and when I'm talking to people that know that they're spending too much and they see the velocity way and they're like, oh my gosh, that doesn't make sense, because if I get a line of credit, I can pay this off and it might be in 6 months. Or if I suggest the automated system and they're like, they go for the personal analysis and they're like, oh my gosh, that's going to have me completely debt free, including my house, in 8 years, but they don't move forward. I think it's fascinating how people will sit and tell you what they know is doing is wrong, but they refuse to make a change just to move over into a right way that's going to benefit them. That is amazing to me. And I run into that all the time. So, if you know that what you're doing isn't working, but you refuse to change, I'm sorry, I don't understand that, because I think we should always be developing into bigger and better, right? And that's kind of crazy. It's kind of crazy that people will do stuff like that. Okay. But yeah, try to work on it. If you see that something's not working for you, don't refuse to change. Look for an avenue that's going to serve you and make your life better. I mean, I'm here teaching things that I hope make your life better. I'm not trying to hurt you with any of this information. I'm trying to help you to adult and take control so that you are not feeling stressed out and depressed and worried all the time. Okay. Laurie says, can I take a cash advance from a 0% credit card? I know what I pay back each week first goes to the highest percentage rate. Laurie, when you're using a 0% credit card, please make sure that they offer convenience checks and you will not have to pay a cash advance fee. You should only be paying a transfer fee that's 3 to 5% of the amount that you're transferring into that 0% card. Forgot to ask credit union if I need to have collateral for a line of credit. Would I need collateral? I don't think so. Personal lines of credit are unsecure. I almost said insecure. That would have been hilarious. So The HELOC does use your home. So that's a home equity line of credit. So it does use your home's equity. But as far as a PLOC, they're usually unsecure. Okay, hi, can you explain the difference between the automated velocity and a PLOC? Thanks so much. Automated velocity system is a program that they take and enter all of your numbers, okay? And they give you a guaranteed payoff date based on what debt you have, what income you have, and the percentage rates that you're paying. So for the system to be set up and get all of your lifetime coaching, you have lifetime access to the program. You have lifetime free upgrades. It's a beautiful product, and it eliminates debt very, very quickly. So a line of credit being used with the automated system works even faster. So it just depends on what you feel comfortable with. The automated system costs about the same as moving into a first lien HELOC. Sometimes a second position HELOC, I've been hearing, they're pretty high. So they're about the same cost. So it just depends on if you want a system to work with that's structuring your payments, that when you pull up the screen and you look at it, it tells you what amount you need to be transferring on what debt on what date. That's all it does. It increases your credit scores. It doesn't help hurt you in any way, but it does eliminate debt much faster than a line of credit because it's an algorithm that is telling you where to put that money to beat the interest. So if you're paying 26% on a credit card, a lot of times it can bring it down to 2%. So you can see how with that system, you're applying more of your hard-earned money to actually pay off your debt and not interest. Okay, so it's an excellent program. Let's see. My husband is starting to talk to me about HELOCs after hearing a few of your videos. Well, all right. All right. I can get you into a free webinar on Tuesday night. They're going to be having one for the velocity system, the automated system. So I can put that in the chat, actually. I'll put the webinar link. If you want to show up to see what it's all about, please do. I may show up with you because I absolutely love to hear them go through that. I think it's awesome. So I'll put that link into the YouTube chat here. How do we build our credit? That's a great question. When you're building credit with using your credit cards, that's the best way, usually by making multiple payments, okay? Very, very fast way usually to build credit is to use your credit cards correctly. When I say correctly, I mean instead of making one payment on the due date, try making multiple payments throughout the week, $5, $10, $20, $30, $50 daily, and see if that doesn't help you to increase your scores, because it's really worked for a lot of my clients. And I think you might be pretty impressed with that. So try that. Okay, I'm putting the webinar link into the chat right now. Like I said, it's just information. It's free information. You want to check it out, you are welcome to go there. Okay, so this is, I'm going to say webinar Tuesday. It's at 7 p.m. and that is Central Time. Okay, and then you go through this link and you can register to attend that webinar. Okay, so No, the automated velocity is around the cost of a HELOC or a first lien HELOC. So it's going to be depending on if you have a mortgage, if you have 1 to 3 mortgages. All of my investors are with the automated system because it organizes their homes. I don't have one investor that has over 12 years payoff for 7 homes. So I have one that has multiple homes, 5 homes, and he's going to have those paid off in 8 years. So the Velocity automated system just kind of uses the algorithm, is all it's doing is to show you where to put your payments so that you're applying them at the right time. Okay. And you're beating interest. That's so important. So important. So let's see. So yes, the link for the webinar is in the chat now. You're welcome to go there. Thank you. I got these to wear at my daughter's wedding, and I forgot them. So I didn't get to wear them. And I saw them today, and I thought, well, I haven't got to wear them lately or at all, so I'm going to wear them. So there you go. No, they're not real. No, in case you were wondering. Can you explain the best time to make payments on your credit cards? Not sure how that affects your credit scores. So they say to make the payment before the statement date if you're trying to impress the credit bureaus. I always make sure you've at least made that minimum payment by the due date. And I'm just going to tell you what I did when I was doing and starting Velocity Banking. I didn't even care about the dates. I was putting my income in there as I needed it. I was paid on a weekly basis. So if I knew I was going to be spending $200 in food that week, I would put $200 in the card so I could charge it back off. So I didn't do the before the statement date or the reporting date or whatever you want to call it. I didn't even worry with that. YM says, I'm just discovering you. I'm planning to do Velocity Banking. I hope it helps me to pay all of my credit cards. Thank you for the videos and explanations. I love it. Thank you, YM, for joining us. Thank you so much. I have a $60,000 student loan. How can I pay it off as quickly as possible? Again, Letitia, with a line of credit or with the automated Velocity. It just depends on how you want to go. Laurie says, my niece is a doctor. She just bought a $1 million house at 8%. And she thinks Velocity Banking is a scam. Ask her to look at that mortgage she just got. She's going to see what the real scam is. Wow. Oh my goodness. I'm sorry. I'm going to pull out the Carl's mortgage calculator, and I'm going to see just how ridiculous $1 million on 8%. Okay, I've got to do this. Just hold on, guys. Just give me a second. I got to get off of here. I want to be off by 9 because I want to spend some time with my daughter. But wow. Oh my gosh. This is great. Okay. 8%. Bless her. And she thinks Velocity Banking is a scam. Wow. Okay, so according to Carl's mortgage calculator, her monthly payment's going to be $7,337. And that screen is nasty. Nasty. So, if that's what her monthly payment is just for the principal and interest, right? Let's see. Woo! Okay. Okay, out of a $7,300 payment, $6,666 is going to be going towards interest alone, meaning that $671 a month out of her $7,300 payment is going to actually pay for her house. If you don't believe me, please go get you a calculator. Do you see that interest? I'm sorry, my lights are reflecting. $6,666 in interest, and the principal is $670. And she thinks Velocity Banking's a scam. Oh my goodness, I can't get over people that just don't understand. So let's talk about it. Okay, so I'm going to do this. This is so much fun. Thank you for sharing that. $1 million home. I hope y'all can see this. I don't know if the lights are reflecting or not. Let's say that she took $10,000 off of a line of credit and put it into this. I know $10,000 is so small, right? So this is a $10,000 line of credit. Woo! I am telling you what, I have got to do a video on this one. I just didn't even think somebody would say that Velocity Banking is a scam when they're getting scammed like this. All right, so $900,000. So we're going to look at our Carl's mortgage calculator. And we're going to say, okay, if she does one $10,000 chunk onto this $1 million property, that is going to take her down to, let's say, 990,000. Okay, so that means that she will jump from, let's see, she's going to jump up. Hold on a second. To one year. Is that going to throw her ahead 1 year? So, meaning that in March of 2024, okay, this $10,000 chunk will throw her a year ahead. But let's see how much interest she's going to pay. $79,800 interest only saved by doing a $10,000 chunk onto this home. So how much is that $10,000 chunk from a line of credit going to cost her? Well, let's act like that she got a really high rate, and we're going to go at the 17% that we saw earlier. Let's act like it's not a HELOC. This is just a personal line of credit. 10,000 times 17%. So that would be about $142 a month in interest on this $10,000 chunk. That is her first month, right? So if she let this sit for the whole year, if she let $10,000 set on this line at 17%, now remember, this is an 8% $1 million loan, right? 17%, $10,000, and she let it sit for the entire year, she's going to pay $1,700, right? So $1,700 if she lets this $10,000 set for the whole year. Okay, so $1,700 is what she'll pay in interest, but look here what she saved. One $10,000 chunk. Where's the scam? Is it with the mortgage or is it with Velocity Banking? It's pretty simple answer, right? If she can save almost $80,000 in 12 months of interest off of this $1 million, 8%, and only pay $1,700 to do it, I would do that all day long. Depending upon her cash flow, if she did this once a year, can you imagine how much of this money she's going to save if she's paying $80,000 in interest per year? Y'all can call it a scam all you want, but I'm going to keep doing it because I know it works. Wow, though. I've never seen such a ridiculous loan yet. That was it. That was the winner. Ding, ding, ding. that person is getting their wealth absolutely ripped away from them right now, and she'll never get that back. I don't care. I know, I work with doctors every day. I know what their student loans are, okay? And I know that this is highway robbery, what's getting done to them right now. So I hope that she reconsiders that, because wow, that's rough. Okay. Wow. I want to end on that. That was a great representation of what is getting done when we're using mortgages. Wow. Again, the automated velocity system, you guys are asking about it. I put the link up in the web. Not the web. I put the link for the webinar in the chat. That webinar on Tuesday night at 7 p.m. Central Time will tell you everything you need to know about the automated system. It will also allow you to have your own personal analysis if you go through my team for free. Okay, so if you want to go through that webinar, sign up for your own personal analysis. Find out what your guaranteed payoff date will be. This is a guaranteed product too, people. This isn't like getting a line of credit and doing it yourself. This is like getting something that's going to help you get your payment structured, show you what to do, when to do it, and get you out of debt very, very quickly by a guaranteed payoff date. I have yet to have one client that is over, I think, 12 years, like I said, for the guy that has 7 properties. So it works pretty quickly. And if that's something you want to check into, please do it. Please do it. Hey, Game 808, I'm glad you caught us. Yes. Larry says, how do I get a loan with a bad credit score? How do we get a loan, people? How do we get a loan? Wait, do we get loans?
No, 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 no.
We don't get loans, okay? Reword that question. We only get lines, okay? No, the automated system is for anybody. You don't have to have a mortgage. You don't have to have, you don't not have to have a mortgage. It will work with whatever debt you have. But like I said, I have so many investors that have multiple properties. I have people that don't have any properties. It just depends on how fast you want to get out of debt. Okay. Thank you, Unitra. Renee, thank you. God is using you in a powerful way. Thank you for sharing. I just want everyone to understand that you don't have to suffer when it comes to your debt. I don't like that. I know how that feels, and I don't want anybody to feel that way. Hey, Christy. Hey, Breezy. Breezy, I talked to you on the phone like a long time ago, right? Because you were doing velocity. I hope it's working for you. Let's see. No, my math is not wrong. My math is not wrong. I will defend it. Oh, yeah, this is 9. Yeah, right. This is 990, 10,000. I'm sorry. I did do that wrong. Yes. So, hold on. Here, hold on. Because if we're just putting 10,000, make sure my interest on that line was right too. Yeah, and the interest is right too, but it is 990 if that's what you're talking about. Yeah, sorry about that. It is 990, and I figured this interest off of 990. Okay, because if I would have put 900, if she had put 100,000 on this, which would be very likely she could, this would have probably. Oh, let's look at that. Let's see if she lets this run out and doesn't use the scam of velocity banking. Let's see how much they're going to take her for in interest. I always love seeing that. It's so exciting. Okay, so if she allows this $1 million property at 8% to run for the entire 30 years, how much is she going to pay for this home? I'm going to have to write this down because you're all not even going to believe this. So she's going to save about $80,000 in a year if she uses Velocity. Okay. How much is she going to pay total? Okay, you guys ready for this? Hope this marker works. On $1 million, a $1 million home, she is going to pay $2,641,552 in total payments. So this is total payments for 30 years. How much of this is interest? $1,641,552 in interest only. $1,641,000 in interest only. Her house is $1 million. So is she paying double? No, she's paying double and a half, right? Is there a word? Did I say that right? So look at this. She's only wanting to pay for the $1 million home. This is hers. This is what she bought. But if she goes the mortgage way, she's going to pay this total. And this is nothing but thrown in the trash. And she can avoid this if she uses Velocity Banking. But if she thinks Velocity Banking is a scam, she's probably not going to use it. So good luck is all I can say. Another thing besides this is that in about 4 years, if she stays in the home, they're going to send her refinance papers. So if she believes in the mortgage system and she says, oh, okay, well, they're going to give us they're going to drop us by 1%. So they're going to take this 8% loan and they're going to drop it all the way to 6%. 2%. Wow, that's going to save her a lot of money on her payments every month, isn't it? But what did it do to this interest right here that she's already been paying into for 4 years? It's going to reset it all the way back. She gets to start all over again and pay this again. It's a setup. So you have to know what you're doing or you're going to fall for their trick. If you use Velocity Banking, you can pay for this that you want, not this that you don't want. Okay? Wow. Let's see here. Thank you, Dally. Thank you. You're such a blessing. You're such a blessing. Oh my goodness. Let's see here. What else? We got other questions. Did somebody ever tell me, John, did you ever tell me what that is? John, what is that? What is that what is that? The PYG 25,000. What is that? That just popped up again. Anyway, says, thank you, Christy, for all the awesome info. As of late, love learning. I am so happy for you. I'm so happy for you. Let's see. I'm going to run on down here because I've got to finish up. Winner, winner, chicken dinner. Okay. We don't get loans. That's right, Bubba Brown. Hi, John. Thank you. I'm glad you found the channel. We got Dallas in the house. East Tennessee in the house. Hello, hello. You are an adorable woman, and I thank you so much for all of your advice. Well, I think you're adorable, Kathy. Thank you for saying that. Can someone in the house tell Betty what credit unions are in California that have low interest rates? She is wanting to know. You're welcome, Ernie. You're welcome. Hello from Indiana. You've given me hope where I had none before. Thank you so much. I absolutely love hearing that. Thank you. Yes, Breezy, you were one of my first subscribers. I remember that. You're waiting for infinite banking? Cool. Okay. 8% must be Canadian rates. Listen, they are ripping the American people so big right now. Wow. So big. Hi from Michigan. Let's see. Las Vegas is in the house. I've got to go see Las Vegas. Everybody's talking about how neat that place is. I got to go. No, I mean, I realize it's not all neat, but it sounds like a really neat place to be, to visit. I think you need to take over our government's finances. Wow, isn't that a shame? Isn't that a shame? That's all I'm going to say. That is all I'm going to say. According to the word, once we learn the truth, we are accountable for it. And this is definitely the truth. Let this set you free. I agree, Bubba Brown. I agree. The DTI to get a line of credit, I want to say, is 42%. I'm not real good on that. I think maybe. Hey, Betty, we got some people in here talking about the California credit unions if you want to check that out. Northern Virginia in the house, San Diego. Good. I'm glad Betty saw it. Okay. How can I buy a house without a mortgage? Elena, I love your name. You can get a first lien HELOC. You can buy a new home with a first lien HELOC. Oh, if your DTI is under the DTI is under 30%, I don't think it's that low, but it has to be, but maybe. Okay, guys, we got Riverside, California in the house, Louisiana. Do I have a group? Do I have a Facebook group? Yes, I have a Facebook group. If that's what you're talking about. I also have 6-week courses, so I don't know what you mean exactly. Hi from Kansas. Hi from Kansas. I am just so glad you all joined me tonight. I am going to run off of here because, like I said, it's 9:07. Time flies when you're having fun, right? So I'm going to jump off of here and go spend some time with my daughter who is baking a cake. Like, I need cake, but it looks so good. So I'm excited to spend a little bit of time with her. We have been on here an hour and a half nearly. Wow, I'm sorry, but I just wasn't even thinking that we were on here that long. So I apologize if I kept you too long, but I hope that it's been informative. I just appreciate you guys reaching out, for watching, for working on your own finances and getting your finances in order. You know, I have a worksheet, and that worksheet can help you to sit down and think about what your spending is, you know, where your money is going. It makes you feel so much better when you look at the numbers, even though I wouldn't look at my numbers for years because it was really stressful to know that I was in the negative. But I remember I would sit down and look, and I wasn't as bad as I felt like it was. So don't beat yourself up. I don't care why you got in debt. None of that matters. Let's just get you out of debt, okay? And let's get you into some financial freedom so that you can be free and think about the things that make you happy and bring you peace and joy instead of stressing out about your debt all day, every day. I know how that feels, and I hate that so much. Thank you, Betty. Thank you, Chesney. Aloha is in the house. Thank you, Eric. Oh, thank you, Eric. I talked with you this week, didn't I? Cool. Enjoy the cake. I don't need cake, but I'm going to do it anyway. And I appreciate it. Yes, in the UK, you have offset mortgages, I believe they're called. So you might want to check on that. I appreciate you guys. I hope that you all have a terrific rest of your weekend. And I look forward to seeing you in the next video. You all have a great night.